I guess we need to talk about this.
Hello guys, welcome to India Today SoSouth. I am Sanjay Ponnappa.
And this is Maruti Acharya. And before getting into the video, we have few questions for you. Question number 1. How many of you liked Jaanam song starring Vicky Kaushal, Tripti Dimri from movie Bad News? Please mention that in the comments below.
And with the context of the amount of trolling that Tripti Dimri has been going through after the film Jaanam, you tell me, how fair is it to judge a person based on the character that they are playing in a film?
And this pattern, which can be either choosing a certain kind of roles or receiving backlash for certain kind of roles, or a demand to look admirable, or how do I tell it, visually appealing on screen, restricted to female actors.
And lastly, what do you think about Tripti Dimri's film choices post the success of Animal?
We will talk about this whole controversy that is happening with Tripti Dimri. So for the people, for context, recently the upcoming movie that is Bad News, which is going to release this weekend, starring Vicky Kaushal, Emmy Work and Tripti Dimri in lead roles, and the movie is produced by Dharma Productions. We already know that Good News movie released a few years ago starring Kareena Kapoor, Akshay Kumar, and then a song called Jaanam released from the same movie, where you can see a lot of intimate scenes between Vicky Kaushal and Tripti Dimri. But the problem that a lot of people are underlining or raising or questioning on social media platforms is A, the dressing of both Vicky Kaushal and Tripti Dimri, and 2, the intimacy, level of intimacy showed in that song, and questioning about the choices of Tripti Dimri or the necessity of that level of intimacy, and whole Indian sanskar, all of that is also happening. The song went viral. People have a lot of opinions about this.
And again, Vicky Kaushal wasn't pointed out as much as Tripti Dimri. After that, there have been a lot of questions raising about her film choices, about her social media presence, about her whole outfits wherever she goes, and all of this. So the major question here is, was this all not noticed before? Why is this being noticed after Animal, and especially after Jaanam? Because even after Animal, there was a certain level of trolling, and she was questioned a little bit by the people who watched her films before that, which is very limited once again. But then after Jaanam, everybody sort of is hopping on the trend of bashing her, going even to the levels of calling her a soft porn actress. How fair is this? How right is this?
Like he mentioned, it is very important to look at Tripti Dimri's journey as pre-Animal and post-Animal, because pre-Animal, if you look at it, she started her career with a movie called Poster Boys, which in general is a very underwhelming product. But after that, starting from Laila Majnu, Qala, Bulbul, these are critically acclaimed films, and her performance was praised by both critics and some set of audience. But one thing is for sure, she didn't get the fame, name, anything in the industry, and also the movies were not commercially successful, and not a lot of people watched any of those movies. So despite of giving a wonderful performance in very good movies, Tripti Dimri still was a very unknown face. And then bam, Animal happened, and this whole Barbie 2 name came out, and her, even though it's a very small role, Tripti Dimri got a lot of limelight. Definitely we all know that it's not the performance because of which Tripti Dimri got that much of recognition. It's the presentation and the scenes, because despite of having a very limited role and a very limited screen time, still Tripti Dimri made this huge name among masses. Like people, you see even paparazzi calling her Barbie 2, not just people or fans when she's outside.
So after Animal 2, Tripti Dimri's whole image has changed, especially in the viewer's point of view, because again, if we look at X or Twitter, there are so many threads which has this hashtag Barbie 2, and with this whole, all the images and the point of view, everything is just male perspective with a sexualized manner. Seems like even her social media presence has changed after this whole Barbie 2 tag, and she is positively taking this whole sexualized point of view that people have towards her and making the most of it. Her viewership, her following on Instagram especially went from a few 100,000 before Animal to almost over millions of followers she gained after the release of Animal and how she went viral after the film. So the main question here is male gaze what gets actresses the most limelight in today's time, or is there scope for talent as well?
So these questions of male gaze or doing a ultra glamorous role or a intimate scene or any kind of scenes which are steamy, intimate, is that really necessary? Which is a question that has been there for a while now. But there is more to this, and for that we have to go a little back in time and see the kind of reception that actress Kareena Kapoor got, or Tushan movie for that matter, and in parallel when she has done Jab We Met in the same year. The response for Jab We Met is different from what she has for Tushan. So you clearly see that actress who has potential and has the star power can manage to do that. But a normal, not so viral Nepo kid or an outsider, do you really think that is possible? For that, let's take Shraddha Kapoor for example. Even though she started with YRF Productions and gave the first 2 movies didn't work well, but she had a contract of 3 movies which she rejected when she was offered movie Aurangzeb because of her not being comfortable for the steamy scenes in that movie. So then she came out of the contract and she signed Aashiqui 2, and we all know that what kind of a movie Aashiqui 2 is, and such a success both commercially, and Shraddha Kapoor got all the name and fame. But did that translate into more projects? Not really. Again, if you look at the career graph, Shraddha Kapoor is not looked at that bankable actress, or how do I tell you? She is not the star actress that she could have become if she was part of all these projects, because mostly she chose her commercial success also is Stree. It was more on that direction. But as an actress in the small family called Bollywood, what is it? We all know. So now coming back to Tripti Dimri, she and also Kriti Sanon, both of them actually mentioned in interviews where how difficult it is for them when they have done a lot of roles. The future is big and then no roles were offered to her. Similar thing happened with Tripti Dimri also. Just listen it to yourself.
100%. I did. Because ये भी होता है ना, when you're in a new city, you have to pay your rent also. You have to, look at those things also. And when you're not working, you're not getting paid. So those things also become difficult. And that is one point where I was like, I don't know whether I'm wasting my time and when that happens, na आपका belief भी अपने आप से थोड़ा it starts shaking.
I shot much before, so it almost took a year, I think, for me to be back on set. But that again happened with me post Bareilly also, which is shocking. It was shocking at that point. After I shot Bareilly and I finished my shoot, Rabta was supposed to release, Bareilly was supposed to release. I had finished shooting these films. For 15 months, I didn't shoot anything. Yeah, I didn't shoot anything for 15 months. And I was like, okay, I didn't shoot anything for 15 months because the options that I had in front of me were not that great and I was not feeling. And I was just waiting for them to release. And even after it released, it took a while. I genuinely had very few decent options in front of me and I was just getting frustrated and I was like, okay, I know I've just done Bareilly. I know my potential.
As long as we are talking about desirability, is it not just restricted to women? Because we have examples of how, for example, if we take Vicky Kaushal, we can see how his whole career trajectory changed once he, reshaped himself or repackaged himself to be how he is today. We remember Vicky Kaushal pre-Sanju, the kind of how much traction he attracted before, the breakout performance in Sanju. But how his career has changed even after Sanju, we have to look at this as well. Because his whole personality looks-wise changed after Sanju, which is when Manmarziya came out, from where he started becoming this desirable hunk. Even Sanju's performance, although got him a lot of acclaim, that was not the role which made him the leading actor today. It is his whole social media presence, his gabru attitude, the Punjabi swag that he cashed in on, which made him this desirable guy, post which he became this leading actor in so many of these commercial films. So it doesn't really seem like it is just restricted to women.
And not just Vicky Kaushal, if you see Nawazuddin Siddiqui or Manoj Vajpayee or Abhay Deol for that matter, so we can clearly see that how being conventionally attractive and appealing is so important for any actor to make name, fame, and this in this industry. It is very important for not just female actors, in a different way for male actors also to be relevant or maintain that stardom. Like in one of the conversations with one of my friends, I still remember, even though people might appreciate Leonardo DiCaprio a lot, but you will only have Brad Pitt's poster in your house, is what he told, which I think kind of makes a lot of sense right now as to how the perspectives of people are.
So, desirability is the main thing, is the most important cash-in factor in Bollywood, is it? So while all these things are there to ponder upon, how fair is it to attack somebody on the basis of the way this look? And purely from the film's point of view, this could be just a marketing strategy, good, bad,
Correct.
or ugly. The film is totally benefiting from it because it is getting the buzz that it needed. For honestly speaking, otherwise it was actually falling a little flat. It was not really riding on the high that its predecessor Good News was riding on, because Good News had significant amount of buzz before release, and
Correct.
the kind of content it had the whole acceptance of the family audience. But with this marketing, what do you think is the strategy of the film? Because the film, every
Correct.
snippet of the film seems to be, running on the high of desirability, in contrast to the first film, which was running high on comedy and the banter between the actors, the chemistry between the two pairs. In my closing note, I'd say that each one of us have our own respective, limits.
Correct.
To which we can consume something, and the limit to that is different from one person to another.
Correct.
If you don't like it, say you don't like it. If you find something which is going par the limit, say this is going beyond the limit.
Correct.
You have your opinions, you can voice it, that is freedom of speech. But calling something, going to the extent of calling a song or an actor a soft porn actress is not cool. I will say that blatantly.
Correct.
Because that is something that needs to be voiced out. If you're watching this, you're watching this. Something like that is actually going way beyond the limit.
Correct.
Brother or sister or whoever.
Definitely.
Plus, including everybody.
On my closing note, Ayushmann Khurrana exists, Sai Pallavi, but we all know that they are exceptions. Currently, if you look at it, whatever it is, this is how it is. But that if you feel like that is not how it should be, definitely put your opinion out, raise your voice, whatever is problematic, address it, whatever it is, but being civil and being respectful is so important. As he clearly mentioned, any of those tags, I don't think anybody deserves. Everybody has their choices and they make their choices. It's for their livelihood or whatever is the reason. That's none of our business. If you feel something is wrong, civil and respectful is the better way to go. If not, we are crossing the limits. That's it for this video. I think we've put our opinions and the whole controversy and the things that are backing in a way where we all can have a small discourse about it, and this is our opinion, we put it out. What is your opinion about anything? Agree, disagree? Please put all of that in the comments below. Like the video, share the video if you agree or disagree also. And whatever you want us to react or talk about or any topic, please mention that also in the comments below so that we read all the comments and next time we'll put it out.
And let me also just take this point and let me also just take time to mention that these, whatever has been spoken, are our opinions that were reflected from whatever we have consumed on social media.
Correct.
About this whole issue.
Yes.
In no way is this the opinion of the channel or the company India Today or any of our groups, anybody else. This is
Strictly our opinion.
Strictly our opinion, and it is a reflection of whatever has been seen on social media.
Correct.
Directed towards this actor and her choices.
Yes.
Well, with that,
In terms of last line. In terms of everything, we are all new. Let's talk, let's make opinions, let's become better people. That's what we are all for. With that, this is Maruti Acharya.
and I am Sanjay Ponnappa, and you are watching India Today SoSouth.